Guys, thanks for having me up here.
What did you see that brought on the fist pump?
Oh, trouble.
And we've got issues in the tri-oval. The three involved. Drew Charlson, the 55, a Venturini Motorsports car, up into the wall.
That's Bubba Wallace in the 55 car. A lot of cars involved here. Saw Drew Charlson, as you mentioned, the 3 car. There's
Another,
a 25.
25 of Justin Boston.
A couple of Venturini cars involved.
See, they're all bumping each other right now, and
Yes.
Darrell kind of gets into the 25, and then he has help from behind also from the 3, but the wreck was on from there. I don't know why people were slowing down like that.
Seems like sometimes a deal like that, Kyle, as you mentioned, it starts from the back and works its way forward.
Yeah.
And take off. But the one thing that may work in his favor, he's starting on that outside line, so he's having a higher groove.
Big crash in turn number 3. One car loose, and it's going to take out many, many cars.
When you have something happen up front and they're still coming in there, when one car up front gets in trouble, then everybody else barreling in there at full speed, they simply can't slow the cars down quick enough to avoid it.
I believe it was the 55 car of Tim Fiedel
that lost control. And man, I'm telling you what.
Can you rank as Corey LaJoie moves to the inside, trying to take that lead away from Scott Lagasse Jr. Not able to do it there, but I asked Billy Venturini. I said, how would you? Oh, and around goes the 22 and the 17 also into the wall. The 55 gets by. That'll bring out our first caution.
It looked like Corey got in the back of the 22 of Scott Lagasse. And now he gets in the throttle just a little bit too quick and runs in the back of Lagasse.
And both of them get up into the wall as the 55 is able to slide through on the bottom of the track. Look at the contact, just so slight, but it lifts that
with a shot at possibly the third place spot if Justin. Oh, trouble. Mason Mingus is involved.
Mason Mingus involved in this.
That was Roger Carter, the 97, that started that. You see some smoke coming from Mason Mingus's car. You see the damage on that front end of that call before you dig 811 Toyota. He's running in the 4th spot.
This Mason Mingus, trying to avoid Roger Carter. Carter had spun on his own, and Mason Mingus didn't have anywhere to go. Thought the high line would be the way to go, but got pinched in between the wall and the 97. We'll come home in the third spot, and we got a crash on the racetrack. The 07 of Brian Coltrider. A lot of damage to the front of that car.
That's a Mason Mitchell in the 82 car. Mason was running in the 7th position.
But take a look at the 07. Up the racetrack it will go.
See, the 32 of Mason Mingus goes by and pulls the back end around. The 82 was racing the 32 for position. That's Mason Mitchell in the 82 car. When the 07 came back up the racetrack, he had absolutely nowhere to go.
Phil, listen to this one.
Look at the run by Bobby Gerhardt. Gerhardt on the outside. 4 wide as they come into the tri-oval. Gerhardt coming through the tri-oval, and he'll win again. 8-time winner, Bobby Gerhardt.
Trouble as they pass across the start-finish line. And all sorts of cars out of fuel. Great variation in speed. Somebody got together.
They need to slow it down here. This race is over. There's cars flying through here with cars sideways.
Spot for Alex, and what a way to get up there. We got a caution out though.
Caution comes out once again. Problem on the back stretch.
Chris Wyndham, we were just talking about how great of a job he's done, and wow, that left rear tire is still going.
I was going to say it's no longer on the race car.
Look at like it broke it off the rear end housing. You can see the dust cap still in the center of that wheel.
Oh my.
Wow. You saw that tire come off. Tire bouncing down the racetrack.
Is that the 99 that got together
Brandon
with him
Davis maybe with a 99. That was a white car certainly. Gonna be another view. Chris is going to get loose up here. May have already had an issue, and I think that was Brandon Davis in the 99 car. Brendan Poole in the 25 car, as well as Kevin Swindell in the 55. Oh, got a spinner.
Already the 52 of Chad Boat gets hit upside down as they slide down the back stretch. Chad Hockenbraw also involved, as well as the 16 of Lofton. Discuss what just took place. It was Lofton that got into the side of that 52. And up and over he went. But just before we saw that, it looked as though Mason Mitchell in the 6 was slow on the racetrack. Maybe saw the 52 sliding.
You see the 52 is around sideways. He tried to exit the corner high coming off turn number 2. Lost a little bit of rear grip. Got sideways in there. Here's the contact with the 16 of Matt Lofton.
Chad Hockenbraugh trying to stay out of that inside wall, and then a little contact late with Matt Lofton in the 6. That 17, he drops in behind him, and around we go. Lap number 2. 35 of Nelson Canach. And cars flying in their way too quickly, making contact. One of them being Larry Barford Jr. in the 04.
A lot of damage to Larry's car. Speed. This is a byproduct of it when something happens. He just got a little bit loose. He was right behind the 44 of Frank Kimmel. He does a nice job keeping that car out of the outside wall. Tom Hessert came along, had committed to the bottom, couldn't avoid him, then Larry Barford came along.
Yeah, Larry had been all the way down at the bottom of the apron, and that 35 just kept coming down the racetrack, which really is a situation where he wants to get off of the racetrack.
See the contact from Tom Hessert. Now you see Nelson come on down the racetrack, and then Larry Barford comes along. You see Steve Blackburn duck to the inside, then the car behind him looked like may have been the 25 car made contact. Then the 35 turned Mike Harmon around right in the middle of all these cars. And look at the hard hits. Alex Bowman goes up on 2 wheels.
Again, the accordion effect. After Blackburn goes into the grass, they were checking up behind.
There's Milka doing in the 6 car, running into Mark Thompson in the 66, Terry Jones in the 30, Cushman in the 7.
And he gets a little bit high through 3 and 4, and so Aaron
trouble already.
Philip Magilton, we're riding along with him, and a few other cars involved in it. The first lap, the caution comes out.
See the 5 of Bobby Gerhardt and the 47 of Philip Magilton get together. There's Patrick Shelter getting turned around. There's Justin Allgaier making some hard contact with the outside wall. Frank Kephammer was involved. There's Justin Marks up.
Trying to get by Cale Gale, but slower lap traffic causing Michael McDowell to take a different route, and the 00 of Rob Brent gets turned around. And so as he stops on the racetrack, the caution comes out once again. It's caution number 5.
Yeah, that will give Brian Clausen his lap back. So good break for Brian Clausen. You see
control arm. It doesn't look like any damage, but something happened goofy there.
Yeah, there's the 60 of Patrick Shelter got turned around there, got into the outside wall. You can see the damage right there.
So the 00, the 60, and the 20 got by Jeremy Clements.
Who trouble already.
The 07 getting turned around. That's
Billy Tanner in the 07.
Billy Tanner out of Newton, Pennsylvania.
Top of the show, as we can watch the replay right here. There's the 4 going to run in the back of Billy Tanner. That's Rob Bunker in the 4, one of the Dodge development drivers, and runs in the back of Billy Tanner, turns him into the outside wall. Hard contact to the safer barrier.
But the crew guys were telling me about it, how crazy and chaotic. We were watching the 5 of Mark Thompson go around with Michael McDowell.
Problems on the racetrack. Problems on the racetrack. Winning. I saw him get a little bit wild in the back there. And the caution has come out. A lot of damage to the front of that Ford Fusion.
Is that Billy Leslie right there? It looks a lot like Billy Leslie's car.
Problems. We've got problems on the racetrack. The 29 gets turned around. That's Mike
Giacchetti.
Mike Giacchetti.
See all the damage to the left rear. That's Keselowski's car right there. See the 29 of Mike Giacchetti just loses control, and then the 84 of Norm Benning comes along and really nowhere to go. Makes some pretty hard contact. You see the 29. Look, a tire went down. You see all the debris.
You see the debris. That thing spun around so fast.
Wow,
he lost a tire right in the middle of the corner, and Norm Benning just wrong place at the wrong time.
See Ryan's on the outside following Billy Leslie. There's Patrick Shelter. The 11 of Brian Silas makes contact. Wow.
Up into the wall. Patrick Shelter hits him, slides him up into the wall, and then the rolls begin.
It looked like the 25 of Ryan Fisher just launched over
the 60 of Patrick Sheltra. You see that car slid for a little bit right on the roof, right over top of the driver, but these cars are so well built. Here's another view. You see the 60 get sideways.
60 sideways and then into the 25. And like you mentioned, Phil, launched.
Yeah, from that first view, it looked like Brian Silas turned down, but once Patrick Sheltra caught his car from being sideways, he actually drifted up the racetrack and made contact with Brian Silas.
Some probably 6 to 8 pounds. And
problems early on, lap number 1. The flags come out.
42 car of Philip McGilton there got spun around. Looks like he's backwards.
He looks as though he took the front end off of the 22 potentially as it came down the racetrack.
Wow, a lot of cars. Looks like 22 just got maybe turned around, not sure how, but nowhere to go. Track.
Trying to move through the field as we are inside of 6 laps. We will be at 6 laps to go when they cross the start finish.
Oh,
with Eric
trouble.
Crocker. She was on the inside of Matt Hagan. She gets spun into the back wall as she got loose on the inside of the number 9, and so the caution will come out for the 8th time.
Drives down in the corner. Looks like they make a little contact right there, and up the hill she goes. Unfortunate.
And they were racing, obviously, for position. She's on the inside. Hagan's on the outside. It looks as though she's checking up because there's a car in front of her.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Rick. She checks up there. You see the car on the bottom side of the racetrack. Just gets out. He's got some good Penske power in that car. Oh,
another problem in turn 4.
It's like the 22 possibly. Again, of Ryan Matthews.
Look back at what took place here. It looks like somebody might have got it. Yep, sure enough.
38 car Mike Harmon. Looks like may have got in the back. Oh!
Harmon made some pretty good contact with the wall as well.
And sometimes, guys, that wasn't intentional. I know it looks that way, but the 2-car, Joey Miller can tell you also.
Pit road. Dawn, a caution has come out. We've got a problem in turn number 4, and that is definitely going to benefit 3 drivers. Brad Coleman, Aaron Crocker, and Dwayne Bryan all out in front of Matt Hagan's when the caution came out, and so they will be able to go to the back end of the lead lap. Why our most recent caution has come out.
It's like he just got loose just by himself. Whoa, close call there. Car just slipped by him, but just drove down in the corner and possibly lost the left rear tire.
We got issues.
Problems. There's Dwayne Bryan getting spun around. Also, Walt Brandon into the backing into the wall, and that yellow 65 up toward the wall.
94, G.R. Smith.
Caution number 4 coming out
60
on the
car.
Super Speedway.
Eric McClure.
First one that Bobby Gerhardt owns, and we take a look at what took place.
Well, we figured out what happened. The 94 car just got loose.
Yep.
Now, why did he get loose? I mean, it could have been a tire. He could have just got loose. It came around extremely quick. So I don't know.
Watch these 2 cars right here. Wow.
Now, Billy Venturini's persistence to get to the front had him 1 car length ahead of that wreck.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's paying off.
Now in the number 55, getting into some slower lap traffic right behind him, Justin Dirks in the 70. Probably, maybe, we think so, can make it all the way, as his crew chief and crew were talking about. That might be the big question. Oh, and we see Justin Dirks get spun around as he tried to make it on the inside. Justin Dirks in second, and problems as he comes back down on the racetrack.
Wow, tough break for Justin. We were just talking about that. He was just loose. Looked like he got loose on corner entry.
With Justin Dirks, and you see Dirks up high. He starts to come down, but there's a car there.
Oh, he just arcs the front of the car and up into the wall. Just nothing you can do. Fortunately, this is a tough call. His spotter may have been on the radio or may not have been on the radio. Told them they were clear. As you see, the melee starts at that point. There's just nothing you can do.
And that was Ryan Howard in the 59 who Dirks comes down and hits after he banks off the wall.
Wow. See the 69 car, like you said, he just drove down right across the hood of Steve Blackburn, just like he really didn't know he was there. Unfortunate, that's what spotters are for, and as a driver, you have to make sure you clear that inside car, and he really didn't have the room that he needed.